Hey everyone, this is Steve Chase of Sequential Solutions, and in this video we're going to talk about recurring transactions. I'm using QuickBooks Online, and if you're familiar with QuickBooks Desktop, they were called memorized transactions. So basically, what we're going to do in QuickBooks Online is we'd like to record and automatically schedule invoices, receiving payments, their sales receipts, possibly through some kind of a frequency. It could be daily, weekly, or monthly. We can also record bills to be reminded for later, and this is just a great way to take advantage of all of the features in QuickBooks Online. So let's get started here. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to select the gear icon in the upper right-hand corner, and then from there you're going to click on Recurring Transactions within the list menu. Okay, when you go there, you'll have your first opportunity of creating your very first one by selecting the new button. And then it'll ask you what type of template do you wish to create. So I'm going to start off and select an invoice. Then I'll click OK. This will open up a form. There we go. And we have the recurring invoice title at the top there. Okay, so you're going to give it a name. I'm going to call it monthly invoice. Okay, and you're going to go right below and select a customer that you would like it to apply to. After that, you're going to need to have their email listed, or whichever email you would like the invoice to be scheduled to automatically upon checking this box here, automatically send emails. If you want to see it yourself, then you could click on the CCBC to enter emails so that it goes along to somebody else. Okay, up here we have three different types. We can have it scheduled, which basically could be created automatically. You could give yourself a reminder, or you can just leave it queued up in the unscheduled, waiting for review for you later to take action to. So let me actually do an unscheduled one first. And you can see here, unscheduled transactions don't have timetables. You can use them as needed from the recurring transactions list. So basically it's a template. It's going to help us with Amy's Bird Sanctuary. And let's imagine that we have some design work that is $500 worth of value that we're selling to the customer, $500. And what we're going to do here is just simply click on Save Template. All right. Okay, now even better, in my opinion, let's imagine that we have a customer that pays us $500 each month, the first of each month, and on a retainer basis going forward. And we have permission to accept ACH. We've already gone through the process where we've gotten their permission, authorization to do ACH transfers. So we have a checking account number and the routing number. And we would like to have that go out each month and receive payment automatically. The way you would do that is you could record a sales receipt. So clicking on the new command, a sales receipt, like that, and I click OK. This will open up the sales receipt template. So notice it says sales receipt. Sales receipt, if you're not familiar with, is different than an invoice. It means that you're recording a sales transaction and receiving payment at the same time. I'll call this monthly retainer. And I'll probably would type the customer name up here as well. Then from the drop-down, I would officially select the actual customer. And here are the different intervals. So we have daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. I'll select monthly. I want it to begin on the 1st of every month, and I'll start that coming up June 1. Now, if I have an engagement where I would like to have it end after 12 occurrences, maybe there's going to be a 12-month period, then we review for a change request of a different value of the sales sheet, we might do that. Or I could have it go indefinitely. So you're going to have to pay attention to that, those little details there. And yes, we want to send emails automatically. Okay, so what we would do now is we would get an engagement with this customer, and we would ask for their checking account number and routing number and have them sign an authorization form. So when you click on check, I'm in a QuickBooks test account, so I don't think it's going to populate because we don't have the QuickBooks payments set up here, but just realize that if you're connected to QuickBooks payments, which you should, it's free to join that. You can then, there'll be a little pop-up that when you click check, you're going to check a box that says I have authorization to receive funds via the ACH or credit card on file, basically. And there'll be a little template that you can have your customers sign and get that to you, so you have the authority and permission to run transactions automatically. So this would be awesome if you run any kind of monthly recurring revenue. Maybe you have a membership site and your customers pay each month and you'd like to have it automatically. This is going to save you a lot of time. This is a really important skill for small business owners that have recurring revenue streams monthly. So from here, we would just simply make the selection of the amount that you are going to pull out, that the customers agree to pay you each month. So I'm going to do 500. And then let's just double check everything here. Okay, Diego's going to pay us $500 each month. It's going to come out of their bank account. And again, I can't show you that right now, but it'll be right in here. You'll see a form to fill out with permission. And there's even something you can read over the phone with them if you need to. Select a credit card and key in a credit card information on that. Verify the correct email, verify automatically send emails. I typically don't print, so I'm going to uncheck the print later. And then we're going to click Save Template. Okay, great. So let's now go back to our list and see the activity. All right, so here we are in the recurring transactions. You'll see the different template names. Notice the type. We have scheduled and unscheduled. And the third one would be a reminder that would notify you when it's time to create it. And you'll see the different transaction type. We've got bills, sale receipt, invoice, so you're kind of knowing what's the appropriate one. Here are the intervals. Of course, we don't have an interval for the monthly invoice that's unscheduled. So if I wanted to create an invoice real quick for Amy's Bird Sanctuary, I'm just going to click on it. And over here to the right, we have the ability to click Use. So this will queue up here in just a second. There we go. All right, here we go. So we're going to use that, and it's plugging in the $500 that we had. So everything here is saved up here. Up on the right, it has something that was also attached. So if we had picked up some billable time, we wanted to add that. What's nice about QuickBooks is if you create an item that's billable to a customer, it remembers. I'm going to go ahead and just add that to the list right now. Throw that in, and that's awesome. Okay, so save and send would be the appropriate way to handle that there. Now, let me close that out. And this is the final step here. I'm going to share with you how you would make a change. Let me get out of here. This is a test account, so it's probably hung up trying to email them, and we're going to get an error here in a second saying email services are not provided through the test accounts. If I could just get out of here first. All right, there's that email not sent. Can't send emails from the sample of the company. Okay, we know that. Let me get out of here, QuickBooks. Bear with me here. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's imagine that going back to the sales receipt. So every month it's going to be scheduled out, an email's going to be sent, and it's going to process that $500. But let's imagine that during the mid-year course, we have grown it to $650 a month. So all we would do is we would just pop in here under Edit and then change the value from $500 to $650, and that will pick up on the next interval that it's coming through. So notice it says Save Template. After you made your change, that would go there. If you ever wanted to delete a memorized transaction, the way you would do that is you would go up to the gear, click on the recurring transactions. When you entered into the view that we're in here, just find the one that you want to remove and delete, click the drop down, and there'll be a delete button, or duplicate if you want to copy the template there. Okay, before we go, I want to share with you one quick little tip here. So let's just imagine that we were in QuickBooks and performing a transaction, and then it came to our mindset that we were going to be repeating that several times. Okay, so let's say that we are entering a bill for rent each month. So I'm going to go ahead and process the bill and record the bill when it comes up here. Okay, here we go. Hall Properties, a bill. Okay, and so down at the bottom, look for the Make Recurring. So we could actually not even save this, but go straight into the Make Recurring, and that is going to open up an opportunity to create the template name. You'll see things that are already kind of filled out here for us. All we would need to do is select the appropriate interval and when you want it to start. So if we're going to have a $900 rent bill every month, we can start it on June 1st. We can save that template. And that's just another quick way to initiate the recurring list inside of a transaction that you're working with here. When that's done, we close that out, and it just takes you out of that form that we were in before. Quick little tip: if you aren't quite sure if something got saved or what have you, all you need to do to find your most recent bill, check, invoice, sales receipt is to click on the Quick Create button. Open up the item that you're working with. So let's say sales receipt. It will take us into an area of the form, whichever form you select, whether it's money going in or money going out of the business. And there's just a cool little feature that will show you your most recent items of that same nature. It's right there. I want you guys to see that. This, my friends, is huge. That button right there is a lifesaver. It will show you your last, whatever you're in. So if we're in sales receipts, we can just click on that little clock button and see the last sales receipts that have been recorded in QuickBooks, or the ones that have been last modified there. And just a quick click will actually take you in there. So if you're kind of stumbling, did it save? Did a template go out? Did we actually create? Just head open into that area, look at it, and see if it's being processed there. Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial here in QuickBooks. If you want to connect with me and see more QuickBooks tutorials and Excel tutorials, go out and visit sequentialsolutions.com or send me an email and ask me some questions there at stevechase@sequentialsolutions.com. Thanks.